Welcome back into another video, and we have a game ideas for me. Strategy Maker Troop List. Yeah, this is Strategy Maker. Now, the Tree Chopper is basically one of the troops that can go in home village, that can also go in attacks. So if you lose him in battle, it'll take about I don't know how much minutes it'll take for him to rest. The soldier is basically a rifleman. An old rifleman is a defensive. I don't know why in Boom Beach they made every troop blue. Bazooka Boy, which is basically bazooka defense. Rocket launcher defense. Medic, it's not a defense, it's a heal. But also, its hat is a defense. It can reflect. I'm joking. Military builders. Village or not defenses, like a tree chopper. Burners. Death damage defense. A grenade launcher, a defense. Mech defense. Laser pointer. Stunner. Distractor. It's hitting this guy. That's the distractor. Freezer. Freezes. Magnetizer. Okay, so the magnetizer is basically... It's not a troop, but it's an upgrade of a troop. At a certain level of each troop, they'll get a magnetizer if they can. And basically, let's take a hammer hitter, for example. Which is going to be a laser for this video. This part right here, the square part of the hammer, will turn into a magnet. I don't know how to draw a magnet. There's a hole in the middle. Actually, yeah, it's just going to be a circle, like those magnets. Just a circle, a covered circle. And, yeah, so a hammer magnetized will be this. Reverse. This is the regular hammer, and this is magnetized because it magnets. Basically, what it does, any magnet on the base stuff, like this thing right here, with a hammer, it'll hit it faster. That's what I'm saying. A bomb jet, an air defense, minesweeper. This is the minesweeper, and it's checking for mines, but it doesn't explode. It just reappears. The hot air balloon, instead of wherever it could go, it's wherever the wind could go. So we'll make a decoration on that. Now the stunner, yeah, that's basically this. The stunner is basically, I don't know how to explain it. Spear thrower defense. Samurai on defense. Miner. Underground defense. The pup warner. This is the pup. And the pup warner is basically, let's say you have the hammer hitter later on. The pup warner. And the pup warner sees a defense that this guy couldn't see. It'll go right after that. And then a warden, a heal defense, a Viking, basically like the goblin in Clash of Clans, the bomb planter. This is for certain type of defenses who has a person on top of it. So basically anyone. I mean, not just that, but it's basically kind of like the distractor. The bomb is, yeah, as you can see, it's placing bombs. But it's not for the boxer, arresting defense. No, it's not a defense, it's a defensive one. Now, resting one, like other troops, you just load them, but a resting one basically is kind of like a hero. But instead, you place them, and it takes 10 minutes until the actual countdown goes on. The defense controller, I don't know what any of these would look like, but it I don't know what it does to that. And it shoots this one. And now this one thinks that is a troop. Now, a gym man is a helper. Basically, what he's trying to do, what it is, let's say someone's holding a rocket launcher. Sometimes it needs help with the strength. So, I don't know, I'm drawing it like a car. This is a rocket launcher, but sometimes the gym man will help that guy. It's at random times. Now, the defense car, it's a defense. The Giants is smashing defense. A driller is a defense. It's like per millisecond is, I don't know. The Rager, a defense. Basically, like, how this guy works is he rages at, like, he just rages. Like, unless a friend is close to them, doing friend things, like talking to him. That's whenever they come, like, 1 feet of each other. Or a high five. Or a fist bump. Or 50 medics, like, healing on one. That's also one. The Rager has a rage bonus. It like has a controller that bounces back to him. The stink bomb thrower, Stinky. Like, the character itself is also stinky too. Like this guy, he's a stink bomb thrower. But also the stink bomb is also stinky, so yeah. Now, the swimmer is a leader for troops for water across. So let's say this is the water across what I'm drawing. The swimmer will carry all the troops, and like at level 1, they can only carry 5 troops. Not 5 housing space, 5 troops. So, like, the water across will make it harder. Unless if you have the swimmer, because the swimmer, well, just get them across that water. Basically. And Bowler is bouncing defense. Bomber, he lights the bomb first before throwing it, which makes it explode. Hammerheader, a defense, basically like Oreo and Clash of Clans. Water Gunner, Fire Outer. Wall Breaker. Yeah. So, let me tell you every help of defense. Now, upgrade faster. And the one that says defense are basically just faster or more hit points or more damage or some or all, basically. Military builders, they build faster. Basically, the military builders are just fixers, so when I don't know. So, they're not fixers, they're destroyers. So, let's say a military builder is trying to destroy this. One of the defense on military builders could actually fix it. Now, the burners, they increase their death damage, but also the death damage is basically like the burner person explode. Also, what the burner is using explodes. So, yeah. A grenade launcher, also a death damage one. It is an explosive. Any explosive one is a death damage one. So, a grenade is... So, everyone on defense is like I said up there. A distractor has more range. Now, how could a distractor have more range? How this works is the short. So let's say he's at level 1. He has short range. How this works is, let's say there's a person in front of that guy, and the distractor will not distract anything because the weapon is in his range. So, like, a defense has this much range, and a distractor has this much, and a defense has this much range. If this range touches this range, like distractor and a defense, then that thing will, when he comes closer, he will attack. But a bigger defense that, like, distractors and his range this, it'll mean that even when he's in this bubble, the defense won't attack him. So, yeah, it'll increase the range. Also, how much damage does each effect cost? Of course, he has a lot of health, but, like, also another thing is whenever a defense hits something, depending on how much damage it is at 15% less, like, it is 15% less of, like, a normal troop. Now the freezer, what more it freezes, a magnetizer of how much, no, magnetizer is basically how much dust and how much faster the magnets gets when it approaches. The bomb jets is more damage, but more bombs in a second. A minesweeper, more mines collected in a bunch. So basically, it has to touch it. Now it can be like 7 tiles, Clash of Clans tiles away. A hot air balloon. Basically, an air distractor. Yeah. I'm kidding. It can be a defense. But, like, it has to throw bombs out of. The stunner. It increases how long will it be stunned. A spear thrower, basically spear throw. A spin spear throw. A samurai. Yeah, I don't know why I keep going through that. A minder. How... Pup warner. The more longer he is, the more that he can. Yeah. A warden. A warden, more heal. A Viking, more gold has stolen and hit. And bomb planner, yeah, the defense. A boxer, less minutes of rest. Defense controller, more defense in one shot. Robot, which basically, I don't know what a robot is. A gym man, the more things that he can help at once. A defense cart, how much more defense you can get. So basically, a gym man gets more stronger. A giant's taller. A rager, the more raged he gets when he's raged, and other stuff. A stink bomb thrower, the more stinky he is, and he has a defense. So, swimmer, the more troops that he can cross. Now, the more bounces for bowler, more radius, and the more fire water gunner can get, and the more he can break. Now, on the base, this is also not just defenses. A flamethrower. That's a defense. And a cannon. mortar, a resting place for builders up to level 8 is a defense. But before that, it's not. So it'll upgrade itself to base camps, basically like army camps. Troop bunker, basically like a defense, but you can put more troops in. Our soldier tower, basically like an archer tower. A troop center, basically like a barrack. So more troops every upgrade. A gear upper, that is a thing. I forgot to say hut, but basically the gear upper hut, the more upgrades it has, the more people will be in that hut. The reloader, the more upgrade that this has, the more that you can be idle for without spending anything, and like the more shots that it can take, like everything else. Also, this includes builders. I know this is quite annoying, but builders is also a part of the reloader. How it works? So let's say, basically, hammer, instead of just a hammer, there's a hammer, a ladder that they can cross up, a nail, another thing which is called a chisel, and what was the other thing called? Hold on. And some lava to make iron, like a lava bucket or something, or like more chainsaws. I don't know what else. Maybe more paintbrushes to make it look upgraded. But yeah, that is like everything of the reloader. That is how much it includes builders. Now, if you're wondering how can a hammer be that, sometimes it can get like really rusty. It takes a long time though. It takes like probably 30 days of upgrades for it to get rusty, and 30 days worth of upgrades. Or like a chisel gets worn out or broken, and a nail gets bent and it's unfixable, or like a chainsaw loses a part, or pretty much anything. And the shop is basically where you pay. I don't know why this is on here. The shop is where you pay, and also it's on land, so you can earn money from raids. The armory is kind of like the research lab, the laboratory in Clash of Clans, because when it's done upgraded, it'll give a different look. But instead, like let's say it's 51 extra HP, 51 extra HP and upgrade, it'll be stronger. So basically the armory will make them work out to get that. They can, like they have a gym in there, or like they could make them wear a hat on those days, or they can switch the weapons to make more deadly, just the same weapon. And then next up, this is the mint shield is part of the armory for upgrades, but you can choose to upgrade too. The underground miner is kind of like the helper hut. This is what I'm talking about. Lance, I don't. Basically, like in Clash of Clans, helper hut. But it's basically kind of like the laboratory when it's upgraded. This will probably look like it, but except it'll have a gym inside. It'll have a gun switcher room inside, but the guns will be more deadlier, but still. And also, what I mean different upgrades, I mean, like, let's take an example. Okay, so you're gonna upgrade something, but also, it'll regularly say more HP, more damage per second, but when you tap on it, it'll be like more health, more stuff like that. It'll still be the same time, or like more damage, which will switch the gun to a more deadlier one, or like more HP, or work out, or faster, still a gym. But I mean, it's the lab itself where the thing just runs around like that. So, also about the underground miner, what I was here for, I don't know. I tapped on the laboratory, the helper hut. You know, like the lab assistant, the builder's apprentice. I'm not sure if the builder's apprentice is the builder's cousin, but it's basically like that. You hire coins first to the underground miner to actually get it, but then you have to give them gems instead of like in just one trip where you had to just upgrade it with like 500 gems, let's say. You have to press confirm, and then you got it. You got the upgrade. Instead of that, you have to pay him 10 gems, like in this currency, 10 gems every day. And if you don't pay him the next day, then he'll retire, and you could, or like he will degrade it down a level if you don't give him those gems, or like a raise. Like, also there's a button onto the next where if you pay 20 extra gems, you'll go up to 2 extra levels, or like 25 extra gems instead of 20, he will go 2.5 levels. So yeah. Now, a house for villagers kinda is like a resting place for builders. But except the house for villagers, okay, you know what? We'll remove the house for villagers. It's basically like the resting place for builders. Actually, no. The house for villagers is, so there's builders, right? But there's also builder huts, staying in the resting place for builders, where they can sleep, where they can, in attacks, they can switch the lever, and instead of repairing stuff, they can actually shoot stuff. Yeah, I don't think builders go out. So, yeah, it's basically a builder hut, like up here. But except you can get more builders in one hut. It's a house for villagers. Now you can upgrade the resting place for builders. I don't know why I'm calling it that. Let me change it. There we go. So a resting place for villagers, and up to level 8. Before then, it won't be a defense. But when at level 8, like inside, you'll see there's a lever, which when you press it, it'll be into weapon mode. So, the builder hut is basically, it can be weaponized, they can fix it. So, yeah. Now, also a water soaker. You know about the water gunner troop? The fighter outer one? Well, also now we have the water soaker, which can remove any burners, which it's more common of water soakers than anyone else. And a wall. You know in Clash of Clans, there are walls, right? Well, another thing about these walls is, like, in Strategy Maker, is instead of just acting like a regular wall, let's see if they did any upgrades on here. I don't know what I'm looking at. Oh, yeah, it was. Okay. So, as I'm saying, walls. They don't have anything upgraded to walls yet. Clash of Clans. It's just a protective thing. But in Strategy Maker, if there's, like, if you place something with a person on top, like that, then, like, if you do that with a person on top, like, basically one tile in front of a wall, these are called wall hiders, so if there's anywhere of 5 tiles in the middle of wall hiders, so I know I didn't mention this because I didn't think it until now. Wall hiders will basically be like 5 tiles at level 1, and the more you upgrade it, which will basically attack level 20 tiles away, 20 Clash of Clans tiles away from walls, and yeah, once they actually break it, they'll shoot the person down. Now this can be a part of walls. They'll shoot the person who broke that wall until they die, or until that person dies. So a builder hut can be weaponized, like, I don't know. I'll tell you why I'm doing this. What am I doing? So, like, this guy right here, his regular base looks like this. He's a Town Hall 14 guy. And, yeah. Everything looks normal until you look at his builder huts. His builder huts look absolutely great. His builder huts absolutely looks great. I don't know which more of it is here though. I don't know which one is. But, so as I'm saying, I looked at his builder huts already, trust me, and his builder huts is at level 4. How does this make any sense when he's at Town Hall 14? This is the first stage when you get weaponized builder halls. I don't know why you guys can't do it. But like, the builder hall level 4, the max is builder hall level 8. I assume this is the max level for Town Hall 14, which is when you immediately get battle builders. Yeah. Okay. So, if you're wondering what the Battle Builders does, and what I'm going to remove off it, is... where is it? Let's take a look at back in this account. The max builder hut is level 6. And basically, what the weaponized builder hut is, basically it has a expo right here, and then a builder hut sees something being destroyed, or why is the builder hut being activated, then they fix it. So yeah.